Hey guys, it's Danae. I am re-recording this video for the second time because the first one was way too long. So I'm coming to you guys today, as you can see, to tell you about the fact that I quit my job. So my first job out of PA school was as an emergency medicine physician assistant. I think I put verbal resignation in about 3 weeks ago, and I think last week I did my written resignation. So my official last day is April 16th. I was very torn about making this decision and even sharing it with you guys, and there is no follow-up plan. It's literally, I have my per diem at the urgent care. I'm quitting my main job that gives me benefits. I've been there for about 18 months at the hospital in New York. It's one of the busiest hospitals in New York. And yeah, so I quit. I have no further plans. I'm not actively looking for a job. So I'm going to make another video about what my next steps will be. And I just personally need some time to recuperate. My job took a lot of energy. It was kind of like one of those soul-sucking jobs. So my goal is to recuperate and to rebuild myself and to be the happy, bubbly person that I am, and to be the best provider that I can be. And in order to do that, I need to take care of me first. So that's why I'm leaving the ED. So I'm coming to you guys to tell you basically why I'm leaving my job. Most people try to stay at their job for at least the first 2 years. I'm going to tell you why I'm leaving my job before I hit that 24 mark period. So stick with me. I'm going to go through the list kind of quickly because the last video wouldn't upload because it was too long, okay? This is not to bash my job. I think I had an excellent experience in some regards, supportive attendings. There were only 2 attendings that I didn't like, which for an emergency department, I feel like that's pretty good. I got a lot of opportunity to learn, high patient volume. So if I can make it in the Bronx, I can make it anywhere. And if I can make it at that hospital, I can definitely make it anywhere. So I'm going to go through these reasons pretty quickly. Okay, number one, I live in Connecticut, and my hospital is in the Bronx. So I have a 40-minute commute if there's no traffic. But say it's a Friday night and I'm working the overnight shift, then that commute can be up to an hour and 10 minutes. And I'm already working a 13-hour shift. And especially imagine doing an overnight shift. So, you know, meeting traffic, getting to work, working the 13 hours, and then leaving, and then maybe hitting morning traffic going back if it's like a Sunday morning or something. So that's one thing. And the hospital has no control over that, so I can't be mad at them about that. The fact that I work 3 days a week, 13-hour shifts. I would prefer for the shifts to be 12-hour shifts instead of 13-hour shifts. I feel like you know, when you're running a marathon, it's, you know, if it's a 5-miler, it's not the first 4.5 miles, it's that last 0.5. So I wish that it was 312s instead of 313s, but I would also, some hospitals have you work 4 days a week. So that's something that I'm not into either. They take an hour out of my pay for my break, but they don't allow a break to be possible because there's no one to cover my patients. So there's no way that I can walk away from the floor for an hour and still manage patient care. So a lot of PAs don't even take breaks. I've started taking like 20-minute breaks, and lately I've just been like, this is ridiculous. I deserve to sit, I deserve to use the bathroom, and I deserve to eat. So like the last day I worked, I took a 45-minute break because they're taking the money out of my check anyway. The patient population is another thing. I work in an understaffed hospital, an underserved area, an urban area. And this is not to say anything about those types of areas, but some of the patients, not all, this is not general, because some of my patients are great. I'm getting hugs. One day I got 2 hugs from 2 of my patients in their 70s, and it was really nice, holding my hand, thanking me. But there's also the other end of it when patients get frustrated about waiting. Security doesn't get paid enough to care, so they send those patients right back to where the providers sit, and people actually come in and start yelling at us about when they're going to be seen. And they get very aggressive, and they do threaten us. And security really can't really do anything about it. There's no security. I don't feel like there's a strong security presence in our hospital. I've worked at other places where you can't just walk in. Like, you need to give a photo ID and you need a visitor's badge before you're allowed in. And my hospital has no type of security at all. None of that is done. Half of the patients show up without ID. So I don't even know who I'm really treating. It makes absolutely no sense. So I've seen patients fight each other. And this is not one time, this is multiple occasions. I've seen them throw, one of my staff, my coworkers had food thrown at her and the patient that she was seeing, just like in the crossfire, and her patient was actually deaf, and they threw the food hit my coworker, the tray hit the patient, and the patient had to be reevaluated for new injuries as well. On my last shift at work, one of the patients handed me a emesis bag filled with his urine, and he said he couldn't use the urinal because he was too big. Really, sir? Really? For the urinal. So, and the reason why I took the bag was because I was like, it's better for me to take this bag filled with urine than for him to throw it on the floor or throw it at someone. So we do have an extremely abusive patient population, and I think it comes out of the frustration of maybe long wait times or just the area that I'm in, but the patients do come back, scream at us, and threaten us. And most of it isn't directed towards me. A lot of the times it's directed at my coworkers, but I also keep my car keys in my pocket at all times because that's how unsafe I feel in this environment. And I don't think that you should go to work and feel unsafe. Anything can happen at any time, but it gets pretty rowdy. The next thing is I use the AAPA's annual salary report to compare my pay to other pay in the city, and my hospital underpays by about $20K. Now, I will say that, the positive things, I have great attendings. Only 2 attendings suck. We have a union, so it's very hard to get fired, but I'm good at my job, so I wouldn't be worried about that anyway. And then free benefits. I don't pay anything for benefits at all. I know Yale charges like $2,500 yearly out of your check for benefits, and they also do like 6 credits per semester for education. But if you want to drop down to part-time, you also get those benefits, but then there's never a part-time spot open. So they offer benefits that you really never have time to take advantage of. So underpaid. The next thing is I pay $120 per month per parking. So I kind of look at that as my fee that I would be paying for benefits. And it also annoys me because when I get to work, I have to park on the roof. So when there's bad weather and there's no covering on the roof and it snows, I have to, commute 40 minutes, work 13 hours, and then get off and clean snow off my car after I paid for the garage, but the garage is so full that I couldn't even get a decent spot, and I have to clean my car. So that's one thing that I don't like. It's a broken healthcare system, and I do a lot of primary care, a lot of OBGYN care that's just not emergency medicine, and these are usually the people that are the first to scream and shout, oh, I only need this. Well, then if you only need this, you need to go to the clinic. You shouldn't be here. But that's just like a broken system and miseducation of the patient. So I can't really be mad at a patient for that. And the hospital wants the money from Medicaid anyway, because 85% of my patients, 90% of them are Medicaid patients. So our residents suck. You have to fight them to come down to do a consult. I don't like doing rotating shifts. The positive thing is we do get a differential, but the rotating shifts, I have to do 4 nights a month and 3 weekend days, which didn't sound like a lot when I initially started, but it's really difficult for me to recover from a night shift. And also my manager has a tendency to stack my days, so I'll do 3 night shifts in a row, and like it's no fun to wake up swerving into oncoming traffic. So especially if you get off like Monday, you go Sunday night, you get off Monday morning and you're going home in traffic, and now instead of 40 minutes it's like an hour and 10 minutes and you're trying to stay awake, it's very difficult and it's not safe. We're short staffed at every level, like techs, nurses, PAs, we're all short staffed. I'm not moving up in seniority because people behind me are quitting and people in front of me are quitting. So since I've been there, maybe one person has left every month. Like a senior PA hired after me left after 4 months. They hired 3 new grads, one is already gone, and then one confided in me that she's gonna leave at her 1-year mark. And then all the PAs that were hired before me has like left one by one. So when it comes to vacationing, trying to get like a better vacation slot, I'm not moving up in seniority because they can't retain any of their employees at this hospital. So I'm one person and I'm getting burnt out because I'm really working as 3 different people. And an example of this is my attending, one that I don't really care for, downgraded a patient. And basically I took her urine, I split the urine myself, dropped it off at the lab, did her pelvic exam, did her full physical exam, dropped her endocervical swab off, and then I saw that there was no technician working the floor. So then I drew her labs as well and took that to the lab and then finished all my documentation. And it caused me to, I did all of that in 20 minutes, but it also caused me to leave work late because I had documentation to finish. There was like just a lot going on. And it's like, something always comes up, and it's like I shouldn't have to take care of every part of patient care. The next thing is I feel like this hospital just burns out employees and then brings in the new grad, and after a year that new grad is gone, so which is not good for the hospital, it's not good for the patients either. So the last and the biggest reason why I'm leaving my job, I want to keep this video as short as possible, is because I have to draw labs, start IVs, do vitals, do rectal temps, which I know is a part of vitals, but for infants, they don't do that in triage. I have to do my own strep and flu swabs. I transport my patients sometimes. I drop my specimens at the lab. I run down to the pharmacy, which is in the basement, and pick up supplies. I also have to clean the glidoscope, refill our epistaxis box, and I call back my own patients and I clean every single bed that I put my patient in because we're so short staffed, we don't have techs, and if I don't do these things myself, I won't get it, like it won't get done at all, and patient care and patient flow does not work. So yeah, those are all of the reasons why I'm quitting my job, and I will get back with you guys and give you an update video over the summer. I'm really just going to be living life, traveling and working my per diem here and there, but my summer is about me. It's about self-love. It's about going back to the person that I was, so that I can be the provider that I want to be. I always told myself the day I find myself getting frustrated with my patients because of that hospital system was the day that I was going to walk out the door, and I was true to myself, and that is exactly why I'm leaving. So no more Danae, the ED PA. All right, bye guys.